Good afternoon, everyone. Wekiva High School welcomes you for the last time of our 15th anniversary season to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Please welcome our guests from Boone High School. They are the Braves. And they'll be taking on your Wekiva High School Mustangs. The Mustangs have the opening possession of the first half as we get things underway here on Monday night flag football. And a warm welcome to those of you joining us on Varsity Sports Network as well as YouTube or the NFHS Network. My name is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs and Sports Information Director here at Wekiva High School, and I'm joined this afternoon by Neil Fisher from the Apopka Chief and VSN. We'll be taking you through this afternoon's finale of the home regular season.
Yeah, thank you again, Mark. Of course, it's senior night for Wekiva. If you didn't have a chance to tune in when it was going on live, we do have it on replay in Wekiva. First down on the first play, and that's Shania McCarthy, one of the seniors honored, taking the reception from Diskishe Carter, a.k.a. Sky Carter. So Wekiva 2 plays, about 15 yards, both passes as they are moving down the field. Wekiva coming in with a 9-4 record. And their starting lineup, as we mentioned, Sky Carter under center, Shania McCarthy, Tyree Smith, Christina White, Zeta Molson, as Carter takes the snap, and she's going to go deep over midfield. Those were your wide receivers, and then lining up the running back, Zariah Hercule. So this will bring up second and about 10. Boone starting lineup on defense, Hannah Colin, number 7. Kirsten Kennedy, number 13. Josie Jenkins, number 15. Madison Rynearson, number 19. Morgan Ewing, number 20. Sarah Strange, number 23. And Madison Gabriel, number 25, as Wekiva will now be facing 3rd and 10 on that incomplete pass. So some rules which are different than in traditional football. First of all, a running clock. Second of all, the other major change you notice right away is that it's an 80-yard field as opposed to 100.
Yes, and of course the down and distance working a little differently. Still 4 downs, but you have 4 downs to get into the next 20-yard quadrant of the field rather than 10 yards from the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, as Carter tries to weave her way through, avoids a couple of pulls, tackles, and picks up good yardage, but I think she's going to still be short.
Sky Carter on the QB keep for the Mustangs. That puts the ball at the 38-yard, make it the 39-yard line for a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th and 1 for Wekiva.
And as Mark just explained, you have to gain the 20-yard. It's in quadrants of 20 yards, so you get 20, then midfield at 40, which Wekiva is just short of, and yes, they will get it as Carter weaves her way on the sweep, so it'll be first down, and then, of course, the other 20-yard marker. So not only there are actually also only 3 first downs to be gained as well.
Sky Carter carries the ball into Braves territory for a gain of 10. That'll bring up 1st and 11 for the Mustangs.
So the Mustangs, with the first possession, they won the toss and elected to receive first. And they are on the march, Mark.
Yes, indeed.
And certainly another change we want to bring up hasn't come into play yet, but there are no kickoffs. And that's McCarthy hauling in the second pass of this drive. And so Wekiva will have 1st and goal from just inside the 20-yard line.
Shania McCarthy picks up a gain of 11 yards on the completion. That'll bring up 1st and goal for Wekiva from the Braves' 20-yard line.
So Wekiva coming in at 9-4, ranked 53rd in Class 2A. The Braves, Boone, coming in 7-4. They are ranked number 82nd in Class 2A. As Carter drops back over the middle pass, Rodriguez, number 1, unable to haul that pass in.
Pass intended for Jada Rodriguez falls incomplete. That brings up 2nd and goal from the 20.
And so this is an important game for both these teams. Another change, this is not on the field, but in terms of the state playoffs, only the champions of each district championship tournament advance to the state playoffs. So seeding is of the utmost for those tournaments, as Carter's operating out of the empty back set. Rolls right over the middle, and second incomplete pass. Danzy unable to pull that ball in. Or excuse me, that was
Christina Wright, the intended receiver. The pass falls incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd and 20 for Wekiva.
So continuing with the thought about the district champion, currently the standings, Wekiva in Class 2A District 5. 9 teams in that district. Wekiva currently the number 3 seed with a 3-2 record, as they will continue to operate out of the empty back set. Everybody at the line except for one player. She's lined up slot right, 5 yards behind the snap. Back to work. Carter now rolling right again under pressure. And the first defensive play standing out for Boone.
Pass intended for Zeta Molson, and it's batted down by Alexis Peterkin of the Braves defense. That will bring up 4th and goal from the 20.
Yes, and one more change. Forgot about this too. But now that it's come into play, field goals do not exist in flag football. So,
yeah, at this point, from where they are on the field, there's really no point in punting. So you're in 4-down territory at this point, no matter what.
So Wekiva with that 3-2 record in district play, most likely they are going to make the playoffs, but they need to keep winning in order to secure a position. And we'll get back to that in a moment. Carter drops back 3 steps, launches that ball into the end zone, and really put it up for grabs. So
Sky Carter's pass intended for number 12, Shania McCarthy, falls incomplete, and that will turn the ball over on downs to the Braves.
So Carter under center, getting 3 completions, moving the team. Wekiva moving down inside the red zone, but unable to complete that next pass, which would have put him in position to score the 6 or get the 6 themselves. And now Boone will take over. First and about a yard as they take over at the 19. Again, it's not 10 yards from where the original line of scrimmage is on first down. It's in increments of 20, 20, 40, and then the other 20. And that is Rentas with the completion under center.
Pass completes to Rentas, and that is good for a gain of about 2 yards. It puts the ball at the 21-yard line, and it is just enough for a Braves first down. Line to gain now is midfield.
So the other starters for Boone, Savannah Stoops at receiver, number 1. Sophia Williams at receiver, number 6. Taylor Bozeman at receiver, number 14. Avery Ashdown at receiver, number 17. Ava Stollard, wide receiver, number 21, as that play is broken up. That's Hercule getting her mitts on the ball. Katie McCrary under center, number 24. That's your starting lineup on offense for Boone. And Wekiva's defensive starters, Javian Dunn, number 8. Christina Wright, number 14. Tyree Smith, number 15. Zariah Hercule, number 21. Shania McCarthy, number 12. And Zeta Mosin, number 4. As now I believe that is 4th down.
The shovel is complete to Ava Stollard, and that will take the ball up to the 25-yard line for a gain of 3, and it brings up 3rd and 15 for the Braves.
And as you just heard Mark say, Mark Barchi, the other voice, he's also our public address announcer, sports information director. 3rd and 15. 40-yard line, the yard line to gain for the first down, and we're going to get an offside. That was Anaya Higgins-Davis.
Flag on the play.
The freshman jumping the gun.
Offsides called against the Mustangs. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot, and a replay of 3rd down. Now 3rd and 10 from the 30-yard line.
So as Mark likes to say, 5 yards donated to the Boone cause. And not a first down. Again, 40-yard line, the yard line to gain for the first down, but it does make 10 yards a lot easier than 15 as Rentas under center shovels that ball out, and Boone's going to be right at midfield, but a couple yards short of that first down.
Play made by number 21, Ava Stallard. Takes the ball out to the 38-yard line for a gain of 8 on the play, and it brings up 4th and 2 for the Braves.
And Javier Rodriguez, the Boone coach, looks like he's going to go for it. Yes, he is. Team lining up, 4th and 2. Critical play. Second critical play of this game. Wekiva driving to the red zone but cannot put the ball in the end zone. So an opportunity for Boone to continue the plays. Rentas takes the snap, no drop over the middle, and just a bit too tall for her intended receiver.
The pass intended for number 22 falls incomplete, and that will turn the ball over on downs to the Mustangs. Now 1st and 18 coming up for Wekiva.
So both teams with one possession, both teams moving the ball. Wekiva getting a couple of first downs, moving it inside the 20. One first down for Boone, and in the end, we're still tied 0-0 and the ball right at midfield.
Yeah, Wekiva has had, I would say, a fairly successful season so far. The only thing that has really proven a stumbling block for them, we were without their quarterback for a couple of games there, as Carter missed a couple of games, and McCarthy had to step into the QB shoes, where she's very capable, but frankly, Wekiva needs her as a receiver, and you can't throw the ball to yourself.
And speaking of Carter, she completes the ball, pass. That's Hercule doing some weaving, some juking and jiving, and gaining about 10 yards after the initial reception.
Zariah Hercule on the Mustang carry.
Yes.
That gets the ball out near first down yardage, and the ball is stopped after a gain of about 10 or 11. That puts the ball at the 28-yard line and brings up 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and so to Mark's point, 9-4 record coming in.
And those losses, each one of them, if you look at the DP game, and
they've actually lost to teams ranked higher and have a better record.
That's true. And those games, in each of them, Wekiva, I would say, was about 3 plays away from having a tie game or a win.
Yeah, that's Zeta Molson with the reception and a first down for, actually not a first down.
Zeta Molson has the catch at the 21-yard line for a gain of 7, and it brings up 3rd and 1 for Wekiva.
Yeah, so Wekiva's losses have been to Trinity Catholic. That was part of the Wolverine shootout. Windermere hosts that.
That takes us to the end of the first quarter. We remain scoreless at the end of 12 minutes. We'll switch sides and have more Mustang versus Braves action for you coming up in just a moment.
And their other losses, again, Trinity Catholic the first, Dr. Phillips, Apopka, and then Jones last week. And in each of those games, except for the Trinity Catholic, they took a 6-0 lead. They actually scored on their first or second possession and then couldn't score, unable to get the ball into the end zone after moving into the red zone about 3/4 of the time. And welcome back to Mustang Field, Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs. Flag football of the game, and no score, but Wekiva on the move. They are inside the red zone, and when we went to that break, Mark Barchi, I'm Neil Fisher, Mark Barchi, the other voice, who's also handling public address duties at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. We were talking about the 9-4 record that Wekiva's put up. All 4 of their losses have been to teams ranked higher. Those are the Max Prep rankings, as well as teams with better records, and we'll get more into that in a moment. As Carter, the quarterback, rolls left, finds right. excuse me, that's actually Tyree Smith. And Wekiva knocking on the door now.
Pass complete to Smith, and she is down to about the 5-yard line for a gain of 10. And that will bring up second and goal from the 5.
Yeah, and so Wekiva, despite that record, they still need to keep winning because of the structure of the state playoffs in terms of the qualification. Mentioned this earlier, only the district championship tournament advances to the state playoffs as Carter drops back, rolls right, now trying that right side, and finds McCarthy, hauls in the reception, 6-0 Wekiva.
Sky Carter to Shania McCarthy into the end zone for a Mustang touchdown.
And so we saw that play previously, except that time Carter rolled left. This time she rolls right, and McCarthy open about a third of the way from the right sideline in that end zone. And mentioned earlier, one of the differences between traditional football and flag football, there are no points after touchdown. So,
well, there are, but not kicking.
Kicking points after touchdown. So Wekiva will go for a 1-point attempt now. You can go for 1, 2, or 3, depends on the distance. And that's another area Wekiva has really struggled this year, converting PATs. So Carter's going to roll right, avoids the rush, takes it herself, and rambles into the end zone. And Wekiva ups the lead 7-0 in the second quarter, 9:34 before halftime.
Sky Carter's try is good. Mustangs lead 7-0 with 9 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Not sure why that says third quarter. We'll fix that.
So while we wait, getting back to the situation for Wekiva coming in with that 9-4 record, mentioned that only the district championship tournament, the champions of each district championship tournament, advance to the state playoffs. There's only 16 instead of 32 like in most of the other sports. And there's only 4 teams that qualify for each of those tournaments. So right now, Wekiva is holding the number 3 seed in District 2A5 as Edgewater goes back to work. And the handoff, we're going to see a flea flicker, modified flea flicker, down the right sideline, had an opportunity.
Pass is in and out of the hands of Taylor Bozeman and falls incomplete. That brings up second down for the Braves.
And so Bozeman could have done some serious damage taking that pass from Sophia Williams on the modified flea flicker, but Wekiva lives to fight another day, to use an old cliche. So Wekiva 3-2 in the District 2A5 standings, and that, of course, would get you in top 4, make it. As this time Bozeman catches the ball. She turns around, gains about 5 yards after the catch. So that'll bring up third and closer to that first down, about 5 yards to go. Actually, it's going to be even closer, about 2 yards. So now Wekiva has finished their district play for the year, those 5 games. But there are still some other teams that still have district games, as Rentas, the quarterback, goes with the option.
Sierra Rentas on the QB keep.
And she will also pick up that first down, about 5-yard gain. So that puts Wekiva in the position of going back to my initial point, which is they still need to keep winning these non-district games as we get a stoppage. So the reason for that is because Wekiva could still wind up in a tie for that 4th place, which would be the final place to get into the district championship tournament. And then, of course, the tiebreaker is the FHSAA rankings. And so, Mark?
We got a stoppage here. I did not see a signal from the officials who called timeout.
No.
This is not like tackle football where you have a mandatory water break at the midpoint of the quarter, but nevertheless.
Again, it's a running clock.
Nevertheless, though, we do have a stoppage here, and we'll take a pause with them real quick, and we'll be back in just a moment with more from Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Pass is complete to Avery Ashdown, and that is into Mustang territory at the 32-yard line, and it brings up 1st and 12 for the Braves.
And so back to live action on the Mustang Athletic Network, Varsity Sports Network as well. Thank you for joining us on this Monday afternoon. And that was a completion, as you just heard Mark Barchi, to Avery Ashdown, Rentus the quarterback. And they'll go back to work on 1st down and pressure, unable to get the sack. Rentus releases, and not much doing after the reception, but nonetheless, Sophia Williams caught that ball for about 10 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and short. Wekiva with the 7-0 lead, scoring on their last possession. A 38-yard drive. Sky Carter and Shania McCarthy doing it all once they got inside that 5-yard line. 5-yard touchdown pass, and then the PAT. And we got another stoppage, another whistle, and this
Timeout Braves.
Timeout for Boone. So we'll be back, see if Wekiva can stop this drive or if Boone will sustain it and move into the red zone. 7-0 Wekiva, 5:32, second quarter.
Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Mark Barchi here with Neil Fisher. Just a little over halfway through the second quarter here in flag football action, Monday Night Football. And as Neil said earlier, the Mustangs are already done with their district season, but these games still count, especially against quality opponents.
Wekiva with a 7-0 lead, but Boone on the march. And that's Rentus getting that right hash mark and doing some serious damage. It'll be 1st and goal as she rambles down all the way to about the 10-yard line.
Rentus on the QB keep. That gets the ball into the red zone. Ball spotted at the 11-yard line. And that'll bring up 1st and goal.
That's Sierra Rentus under center. Seen her do that quarterback option a couple of times successfully. She's just able to get that angle just before 2 Wekiva defenders. And now as we dip under 5 minutes in the first half, Boone in business, 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Rentus takes the snap, page out Wekiva's book, rolling left. And she'll go again with the QB option and into the end zone. With the PAT, we will be tied 7-7. 4:30 remaining in the first half.
Sierra Rentus goes 10 yards into the end zone for a Braves touchdown, and that cuts the Mustang lead to 7-6, pending the outcome of the PAT.
So that touchdown drive, 70 yards, began just after the second quarter began. And in flag football, the clock does continue to run. It's a running clock.
Well, almost
except
completely
after
running
touch-
that. Well, no,
touchdown.
including after touchdowns. It's the last 2 minutes of each half.
Yeah, last 2 minutes. Okay, the clock is now running. So just had some technical difficulties.
No, that's fine for the broadcast viewers. It's just the Wi-Fi in the stadium.
And that's an incomplete pass. So
Pass intended for number 22 falls incomplete. The try is no good, and so Wekiva maintains a 1-point lead, 7-6 the score, with about 3.5 to go in the first half.
So Rentis leading her team, Boone, 70 yards, and they cut the lead to 7-6. The PAT no good. 10-yard rushing TD for Rentis. And then an incomplete pass on the PAT. And so I want to finish up my point here. Haven't been able to quite yet finish it. And that's both these teams need to get wins. We were talking somewhat when we came back. Mark mentioned that I had mentioned earlier, need to keep winning even though the district competition is over for Wekiva. As that's Sky Carter. Empty back set. Throw to the right, incomplete, so that'll bring up second and about 5 yards. So again, there are no kickoffs in flag football. When a team scores, the subsequent possession starts at the other team's 15-yard line. That's if it looks a little unusual, that's why. And so Wekiva, again, 3-2 record in district play. That puts them in the 3rd seed. As Hercules will gain that first down, swings the ball up the field, and got some good yardage after the reception all the way to the 30-yard line.
Sorry, Hercule on the reception and the carry. That takes the ball into the next quadrant at the 29-yard line and brings up 1st and 11 for the Mustangs.
So Wekiva in the standings are behind Dr. Phillips and Apopka. Dr. Phillips 5-0, Apopka 4-1. Again, Wekiva 3-2. And by the way, 2 of the 4 losses Wekiva has suffered have been to Dr. Phillips and Apopka. But not all the teams in the district have completed their district play, so there's still an opportunity for those teams to wind up tied with Wekiva. And then, of course, the tiebreaker would come down to the FHSAA rankings, as that was Wright unable to haul that ball in, slapped off her wrist.
That brings up 2nd and 11 for the Mustangs.
And the rankings are composed of the team's record. So obviously that's where victories will come in. They're also composed of the opponent's record and then, of course, the opponent's record. They are somewhat different, slightly different than the Max Prep rankings, but for the most part, about 95%, it is the same. And again, they are the 3 same variables I just mentioned, as that will bring up 3rd. Give Boone's defense credit.
Pass is intended for number 21, Zariah Hercule. It falls incomplete, and that will bring up 3rd and 11 for the Mustangs.
And so Wekiva has lost 4 games. Again, all 4 of those games where the teams ranked higher and with better records. So certainly Wekiva has left some points on the board. Again, going back to that point system, if you get one of those victories against Trinity Catholic out of Ocala, Dr. Phillips, Apopka, or Jones, as intercepted, picked off, and back the other way we go. That was Hannah Cologne jumping the route, and then a 12-yard return.
Pass intercepted by Hannah Cologne, and it is returned into Mustang territory. Ball is spotted just inside the 40 at the 38, and that will bring up 1st and 18 for the Braves.
So Wekiva on the march, and just that quickly, Carter throwing an interception. And now Boone with 1:53 remaining, down 7-6. Opportunity to take the lead into halftime. Rentas under center. Going to her right side, bobbled but unable to corral that. Bozeman.
Pass intended for Taylor Bozeman falls incomplete, and that will bring up 2nd and 18 for the Braves.
So Boone comes in with a 7-5 record, ranked 82nd in Class 2A. And they are in District 2A4 as Renta's back to work. She's going to go with that same play. And this time, really the first bad pass she's thrown all day.
Pass intended for number 6, Sophia Williams, falls incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd and 18 for the Braves. So, Neil, if we don't see any change here in momentum, it looks like the Braves have an interception, but so far I don't have any offensive progress to show for it.
Won't be able to convert it into fruition, tangible fruition. The Braves have had a very up-and-down season with that 7-5 record. Won 6 in a row, but have lost 4 of their last 5. And they go again to the same play, this time farther distance. And on the defense, 15 and 12.
Pass intended for Ava Stollard falls incomplete. Coverage provided by Shania McCarthy.
And Tyree Smith.
And that'll bring up 4th and 18 for the Braves. And, Neil, I think at this point, even though it's a long shot, I mean, you might as well go for it here.
Yeah.
You've got really fairly little to lose.
So going back to the district, that's 2A4. Boone also comes in 3rd place in that district. Timber Creek, the beast of that district, at 5-0. East River 6-1. So the same situation for them as far as qualifying for the district championship tournament, as Wekiva will take over at their own 15-yard line, ball rolling into the end zone, which is you only have 4 teams make the district championship tournament in flag football, and they are in 3rd. And if they lose a couple more games, they could find themselves on the outside. So, because of the FHSA point system being the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, those losses that Wekiva has in the books are, what I would call honorable losses. They were competitive games. They were games that, if maybe 3 or 4 plays had gone differently, could have gone the other way. Wekiva's playing well. It's just a matter of whether they can keep up with some of the best talent in the region.
Yeah, Wekiva's biggest problem specifically, as Carter's going to swing that ball out to the right, or her left, and that is Zeta Molson gaining the first down.
Zeta Molson on the carry. That takes the ball up to the 17-yard line, and it'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Yeah, actually, excuse me, it was not a first down. But Wekiva's biggest problem specifically is the fact that they cannot score once they get inside that red zone. And all 4 of those, 3 of the 4 losses, the last 3 to be exact, is as McCarthy snagging that ball, and that'll certainly be a first down. And
pass is complete to Shania McCarthy. That puts the ball at the 30-yard line. It's enough for a Mustang. First down. 1st and 10 coming up for Wekiva.
Wekiva took a 6-0 lead, scoring on the first or second possession of the game in those last 3 losses to Dr. Phillips, 21-6, 12-6 to Apopka, and then 20-6 to Jones. And then they get the ball in the red zone. That would be the 15-yard line or closer 3 other times, but did not cross the plane of the end zone. In the meantime, the other team obviously did, scoring the last points to win the games. So Carter now goes back to the inside, and that's in no man's land, as there's now 30 seconds remaining. Another problem to build on the unable to score once they get inside the red zone, and there's really no nice way to say this, but Sky Carter, for as great a quarterback as has been outside the red zone, she has made some really bad decisions in terms of passing the ball inside the red zone and easy interceptions for the defense.
The Mustangs request a timeout, their first of the first half.
So we'll be back. Last 30 seconds. Wekiva 7-6 lead over Boone in possession at their own 30-yard line.
Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Just about 30 seconds left. Of course, official time is kept on the field in flag football, so don't be alarmed if they call the end of the quarter and not exactly when your clock on your screen hits 0.
Wekiva with possession. They have the 7-6 lead over Boone. Empty backfield with one on the left, 5 yards on the stutter. And that's McCarthy weaving her way through the middle. First she catches it, and about 20 more yards. Yards after catch. First down for Wekiva.
Shania McCarthy makes the catch, and the Mustangs will spend their second timeout.
So Wekiva continues to move that ball down the field. Biggest play of the drive. Still 21 seconds in a 7-6 lead. Certainly would help them out tremendously to score before the halftime.
Remind everyone that we are live streaming today's game on YouTube, NFHS Network, and Varsity Sports Network. If you have friends and family who would like to join us, just send them the link. All you have to do is tell them to pull up the YouTube app on their favorite computer, smart TV, or mobile device, search for Wekiva Sports, or go to varsitysportsnetwork.org and click on the Central Florida channel to tune in live, and we'll also have this on demand for you after the game. Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Mustangs spending probably their second timeout. There was a timeout taken that the officials didn't signal which team took it, so somebody has one timeout less than what you see on your screen there.
7-6 lead for Wekiva. They scored first. Boone the opposition. Wekiva with possession. And a golden opportunity to take some momentum, not just to score, but really just that intangible of having control of the game into halftime. Carter gets rid of that ball quickly to Molson.
I don't think Molson was expecting that.
Nope. She did some dancing and picks up about 5 yards.
Zeta Molson on the reception. She picks up the Mustang first down and will pause as Wekiva takes their final timeout.
And so as you just heard Mark Barchi, he's the public address announcer here at Wekiva. He's been the only public address announcer Wekiva has ever known, along with the only sports information director. I'm Neil Fisher. Mark just mentioned a first down inside the red zone. Now again, in flag football, unlike traditional football, where it's 10 yards from the spot on the first down, it is in increments of 20, or as Mark likes to say, quadrants of 20. So you have to get to the 20-yard line, then the 40 midfield, and then the opponent's 20-yard line. And Wekiva has done that. Again, mentioned this throughout the first half. Their bugaboo, if you will, they come in with a 9-4 record, but 3 of those 4 losses have been, if you want to look at one specific area or reason, they have not been able to move the ball inside the end zone after they get into the red zone, which is that 15-yard line, but then they can't gain those last 15 yards. So Sky Carter under center will try to change that trend, and certainly, again, it would mean a lot. Won't happen on that play. McCarthy, the intended receiver, ball low, and that leaves us with 8 seconds.
Pass falls incomplete. That brings up 2nd and 18 for the Mustangs, or 2nd and goal from the 18.
And another difference between flag football and traditional, a running clock. So Wekiva, even if they were to catch the ball and then run out of bounds but not get into the end zone.
It's the last 2 minutes of the half, Neil, so it would be stop time.
Okay, it does count if you go out of bounds. Okay. So Carter, opportunity to get 2 plays, but it looks like we're just going to get 1. She's got to get into the end zone, and she will not. Great defensive work by Boone, the bend but don't break, positioning himself right in front of that end zone.
Shania McCarthy on the carry gets down to about the 2-yard line and is stopped just short of the goal line, and time has expired on the second quarter. So the Mustangs covering all but 2 yards of the field but will not get any points on the board on that possession. It'll be Braves ball when we come back from halftime. It's a 1-point ball game here on senior night. 7-6 is your score as we head into halftime of our Monday Night Football action. And now, please welcome to the field for your halftime entertainment, the Mustang Elite Dancers. once again your elite Wekiva dancers. We'll be back in just a moment with the third quarter. Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. The Braves have the opening possession of the second half.
And Wekiva on defense in the colored jerseys, the blue jerseys, with the 7-6 lead over Boone. Important game for both these teams as we head down the stretch. Both teams need to keep winning if they're going to secure a spot in the respective district championship tournaments. And that's Rentas under center, handing the ball off to, I believe that was Taylor Bozeman, number 14. We are live from Wekiva home facility, Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. Wekiva with the 9-4 record, the Boone with the 7-5 record. And as we mentioned in the first half, about half a dozen differences between flag football and traditional football, one of which there is no kickoff. The refs just place the ball at the 15-yard line. And so Boone begins their drive there, their possession there. That's Rentas.
Pass complete.
Sierra Rentas under center to Sophia Williams in a first down.
Sophia Williams on the reception, and that puts the ball at the 20-yard line exactly and brings up 1st and 20 for the Braves.
Another difference is not 10 yards for a first down from where the ball begins on first down. It's in increments of 20, or Mark Barchi, the other voice on the official, likes to say 20-yard quadrants, and this is Rentas on the QB option. And she'll gain some positive yardage, but still about 17 yards for that first down. Third play of the drive.
Sierra Rentas on the carry for the QB keep. No gain on the play. 2nd and 20 coming up for the Braves.
Okay, so as your remarks say, 2nd and 20. Was a little bit closer. Rentas takes the snap out of the shotgun, which is what you do on every play. That's Williams again, and that'll be about a 10-yard gain, make that third down more manageable.
Williams on the carry. Stop made by Tyria Smith. That spots the ball at the 29-yard line and brings up 3rd and 11.
A running clock as well, except for the last 2 minutes of each half. And Wekiva has the lead on a PAT. That's your difference right now. Wekiva scoring first. Sky Carter to Shania McCarthy. That was a 38-yard drive, a 5-yard touchdown pass, as Wekiva's front jumps the line.
Yeah, that was was intentional. Boone with a little deceptive move there, and
flag football equivalent of a hard count.
Yep.
And that'll make it third.
Offsides called against the Mustangs. That's 5-yard donation to the Braves' cause. Puts the ball at the 34-yard line and brings up 3rd and 6.
Sky Carter then finding Shania McCarthy in the end zone for the PAT. And again, that's your difference right now, 7-6. As Boone now facing the 4th down short catch, but that does at least put him in a position where Coach Rodriguez has a decision to make. And it looks like he's going to go for it. 4th and about 5. Boone drove 70 yards, and their score came on a 10-yard rush from quarterback Sierra Rentas. The PAT was no good. Under pressure, Rentas threw the ball out of the end zone, out of the backside of the end zone. Now, of course, she's facing 4th and 5. Bunch formation for Boone in motion. And
yeah, they're in motion too early, in fact. Flag on the play. False start called against the Braves. 5 yards back to the Mustang cause, and it'll now be 4th and 11.
So about 100 fans in attendance today for, again, an important game for both these teams as we head down the stretch, and Coach Rodriguez is now going to go with the punt, the first punt of the game for either team.
No, there was one punt earlier. Wekiva punted once.
Okay. So it's the first punt for Boone, second of the game. And again, another difference, about a handful of differences between this game, flag football, and the traditional. One of which is there's no rush on the punt. And Wekiva's going to get a huge break, a couple of huge breaks. First, a bad pump that only went about 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, and then it takes a bounce about 5 yards back.
After the punt, the ball is spotted in Braves territory at the 37-yard line. It'll bring up 1st and 17 for Wekiva.
So Wekiva, another golden opportunity to increase this lead, and 6:58 remaining in the third quarter. And with that running clock, they could certainly go up by 2 scores. Well, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion heading into the fourth quarter. As Mark said, they take possession at the Boone 37, first pass to Hercule. And she tries to sweep around that left hash mark.
Soraya Hercule completes the pass from Carter. Stop made by Peterkin. And that's good for a gain of 2 on the play. Second and 15 coming up for Wekiva.
6:10 remaining. Wekiva now back to the one-back set with staggered receivers.
Carter has to get rid of it. Finds Jada Rodriguez. Has a lane open. Going to be stopped short of the first down, but really made something out of nothing there.
Yeah, and now a much more manageable third down than would have been. And really the key to that play was the quick release by Carter.
Jada Rodriguez on the carry. And that puts the ball close to first down marker. That'll be at the 23-yard line. It brings up 3rd and 3.
So Carter, excellent job of reading the formation and the concept of the play, recognizing the defensive pressure where it was coming from on the right side, and adjusted quickly with that pass. And now a handoff, inside handoff. Nothing doing there. As
carry made by number 15. That's Tyria Smith. Stopped by Peterkin, and that'll be a short loss on the play. Ball is spotted at the 24-yard line for a loss of 1, and it brings up 4th and 4.
And no field goal attempts in flag football. Another difference between flag football and traditional. So Coach Butts goes, he's going to go for the attempted first down. No reason to punt here. As Mark said, 4 yards to go as we drop under 5 minutes in the third. And Wekiva's first possession of the second half fizzles out.
Pass intended for Shania McCarthy falls incomplete, and that will turn the ball over on downs to the Braves.
And the score remains 7-6, 4.5 remaining in the third quarter. So Wekiva again comes in with that 9-4 record, ranked 53rd in Class 2A. They've had a successful season when you look at the records. 9 victories, the 4 losses, though, could leave them on the outside of the state playoffs. Those losses coming to Trinity Catholic, Dr. Phillips, Apopka, and Jones. And all 4 of those teams were not only higher ranked and better records, but they're all ranked inside the top 20 as Rentas goes to work. A spinning catch over the middle by Bozeman. Nice job there, and that'll bring up second and short.
Pass is complete. Davis Stollard, and that puts the ball out to the 39-yard line. 2nd and 1 coming up for the Braves.
And so Wekiva finds himself with a 3-2 record. Apopka and Dr. Phillips, the two of the teams they lost to, as the ball swung out to the left. And that will be enough for a first down. A short game, but again, you only needed 1 yard.
Pass complete to Williams. That is over midfield into Mustang territory. Ball spotted at the 38-yard line for a gain of 3. 1st and 18.
Dr. Phillips 5-0 in District 2A5. Apopka 4-1 in 2A5. So those two losses that Wekiva suffered, definitely the difference in them between them being in first or second and third. And if they do wind up in a tie, as we're going to get a rush, some weaving in along that right hash mark by Williams. Nice gain. 2nd and about 10.
Ball is spotted at the 28-yard line for a gain of 10 on the carry, and that will bring up 2nd and 8 for the Braves.
So if Wekiva does wind up in a tie, the FHSAA rankings is the tiebreaker, and that system, that point system, is made up of the team's record, the opponent's record, and then the opponents of the opponent's record. And certainly Wekiva left some points on the board losing to those 4 teams, but in particular their district rivals, Dr. Phillips and Apopka. And of course that is very important, as Rentas is going to roll right, take it, no hesitation there, and she'll get the first down, trotting down that field.
Rentas on the QB keep. That gets the ball across nearly to the 20-yard line, stopped just short of first down yardage. At the 21, that's a gain of 7 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 1.
So only 4 teams in each of the districts do advance to the championship tournament.
And a dangerous little flick, but it's going to work out.
As Boone continues to march down the field.
Shovel is made to Ava Stollard, and that is across the 20-yard line into the red zone for a Braves first down.
And we're going to also have a timeout. Second time Boone's been inside that red zone, inside the 15-yard line. So again, I was mentioning only 4 teams advanced to the championship tournaments from each district. And that's certainly where Wekiva might have a problem, being in that 3rd seed. And why they need to continue winning to up their points in that FHSAA rankings. So Boone, in a similar situation, they're 7-5, and they're also 3rd in their district. That is District 2A4. Of course, the beast over in that district is Timber Creek and East River. And now Rentas takes the snap, rolling left. She's going to take the ball herself, rush it, and great defensive work coming up reading that play.
Rentas on the carry. Zeta Molson makes the stop for the Mustangs. That puts the ball at the 12-yard line. A gain of 9 on the play, and it brings up 2nd and goal for the Braves.
So we'll be back as we get a timeout. 47 seconds remaining. Wekiva holding on to that 7-6 lead. Both teams needing victories as we head down the stretch of the 2022 season. Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, home of the Wekiva Mustangs, the site. Wekiva, the home team, with a 7-6 lead over the Boone Braves. Boone second and goal from the 10-yard line, though, knocking on the door. The swing pass out, and bobbled, caught, and...
I am not seeing a touchdown signal.
Nope. So the ball was caught as the refs are moving the line of scrimmage, but I guess...
Play is made by number 6, Sophia Williams. That takes the ball inside the 5 to about the 3-yard line and brings up 3rd and goal.
So right now the difference, a successful point after attempt by Wekiva, Sky Carter to Shania McCarthy. And now the defense having to come up with a play. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line, nursing that 1-point lead as we approach the end of the 3rd quarter. A direct snap, the Wildcat, and that was Taylor Bozeman.
Taylor Bozeman into the end zone for the Braves touchdown.
So Boone takes its first lead of the game as we actually move into the 4th quarter. That's 12-7, and now the point after touchdown attempt. Bozeman, 3-yard rush. With 10:50 remaining. Snap back to Rentas. 2 steps to her right, and a bullet over the middle. 2-point attempt, 1-point attempt successful. 13-7, Boone.
Try is complete to Ava Stollard, and that will add one more to the Braves total. 13-7 the score with 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter.
So Rentas, as you heard, goes to Stollard for the point after touchdown attempt conversion, and that puts the score 13-7. Boone in the lead for the first time tonight, and now the onus on Wekiva. They're going to have to move that ball, and they're going to have to move it quickly. A running clock in flag football, except for the last 2 minutes. Good start as Carter with the completion.
Pass is complete from Carter to Christina Wright. That's good for a Mustang first down, just inside the 20-yard line at the 22, brings up 1st and 18.
And that drive, that touchdown scoring drive by Boone, consumed 8 plays and began at their own 24-yard line. So 56 yards. And now on the run. That'll be incomplete.
Pass is incomplete, intended for Zariah Hercule. 2nd and 18 coming up for Wekiva.
Under 8.5 minutes remaining. Wekiva needing to come up with an answer. Boone just taking the lead. 13-7. A 3-yard rush by Taylor Bozeman. Carter taking her time now. There's the snap. And under pressure gets rid of it. Short pass up the middle to Smith, who made a little something out of nothing. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Tyria Smith on the carry for the Mustangs. Ball spotted at the 25-yard line. Make that the 27-yard line. Brings up 3rd and 13.
So a beautiful day for football, Mark. Clouds in the sky, but very light. We're about 75 degrees now. Wekiva right next to State Route 414 on the southeast side of Apopka. Carter looking to make something, and she does. Oh, galloping, weaving, juking, jiving, and she rambles all the way past the first down marker. First down inside Boone territory.
Sky Carter on the QB keep. And she is into Braves territory. She needed 13. She got about 16, puts the ball at the 37-yard line and brings up 1st and 17.
So both these teams have played Evans, Edgewater, Eastlake, and Ocoee. Wekiva with a 3-1 record, 2-2 for Boone. And Wekiva now needing to get on that board, trailing 7-6, and this will certainly help. Carter hauling in the pass and making a beeline down towards the middle.
Carter connects with Tyria Smith, who gets nearly to the red zone. Ball is spotted at the 22-yard line. That's going to bring up 2nd and 2.
So again, in flag football, one of the differences between traditional football is not 10 yards for a first down from where the ball is spotted on first down. It's in increments of 20, or if you prefer, quadrants of 20. So Wekiva needs to go to the 20-yard line to pick up that first down. And Carter operating out of a one-back set. And she's going to pick up easily as she rushes over to that right side. Clock does continue to run.
Sky Carter on the carry. That puts the ball inside the red zone. And that'll get it to the 19-yard line for a gain of 3. First down, Mustangs, 1st and goal.
Running clock in flag football, 5:20 remaining. Wekiva down 13-7. They scored the first points of the game, a touchdown in the PAT. Last 13 scored by Boone, including the last possession. Sky Carter out of the shotgun. One back set with 2 receivers on her left, a slot and a wide. Carter slowing down the pace of the snap. And now she goes to work, and I believe she did get that pass
intended
off.
for Zariah Hercule is incomplete.
So Boone getting in that backfield and causing chaos for Carter.
2nd and goal from the 19 for Wekiva.
As we now have 4.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and of course, this is a critical possession for Wekiva. As we've mentioned before, it's a running clock until the 2-minute warning. So this could be the last real quality possession that Wekiva has where they really can control the clock and take their time.
Complete possession.
I mean, certainly it is absolutely possible that Wekiva would get the ball back at least one more time, but if they did and they weren't in the lead, it would be a hurry-up possession for sure.
Yeah, so Carter again, and she's not going to be able to avoid the sack this time. And
Carter is sacked by number 18. And that will pull the ball back to the 24-yard line. Loss of 5 on the play. It brings up 3rd and goal from the 24.
Yeah, and so that's not just, as Mark said, a loss of yardage. That certainly is important, but just it stops your momentum. Wekiva had some momentum. They had a blueprint for moving the ball down the field, and it's also a wasted play. And again, running clock, you're going to keep looking at time coming off that clock now. So Carter's under center, out of the shotgun. She's going to have to overcome the loss of what I just mentioned. And she's going to go to that quick screen. That's Rodriguez getting the reception, and that'll certainly get him back in the red zone, but still a ways to go on 4th down.
Jada Rodriguez on the completion for the Mustangs. The ball is spotted at the 16-yard line for a gain of 8, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. Yeah, that would have been great if the 20-yard line were the line to gain. But at this point, I mean, Wekiva really has no choice but to go deep, and we've seen Carter typically throwing toss-ups in this situation. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, this might be the play that decides the game in terms of Boone. Might be the play that secures the victory for Boone. Wekiva needing to get a touchdown. Quick pass out to Hercule. She's going to have to do the rest.
Touchdown or bust, and the ball pops out.
So she does gain some yardage, and if that was first, second, or third, it would certainly be important, but fourth down, have to get it into the end zone. 2:12 remaining as Boone holds off Wekiva and keeps the 13-7 lead.
Zariah Hercule on the catch. Kirsten Kennedy forced a fumble at the end of that play. And that will turn the ball over on down to the Braves. They'll take over at the 10-yard line, their own 10-yard line, and we have reached the 2-minute warning.
So Wekiva now is going to have to rely on timeouts and get a 3 and off the field. 13-7, Boone in the lead.
Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. 2-minute warning has been reached, and so we are now in stop time rules for the remainder of the contest. What that means is that we follow pretty much exactly the same timing rules as tackle football, as Rentas has the QB keep for the Braves. That takes the ball out almost to the 20-yard line, stop just short at the 18. It'll be 2nd and 2.
And so with the 13-7 lead, Boone now, they're looking to get that first down. They get a first down. I think you can pretty much wrap up this game. Of course, Wekiva might get the ball back, but they would have just a few seconds remaining. So Rentas calling out the play. She has led her team to the last 13 points.
I don't believe that either team has used any timeout so far this half, so Wekiva does have 3 opportunities to stop the clock, if they should so desire.
And
carry is made by number 6. That's Sophia Williams, and that is good for a Braves first down. That'll put a fresh set of downs on the board and stop the clock momentarily to move the pylons.
And so now Wekiva, Coach Butts, you're looking to call timeouts after every play. And again, even if you do stop Boone, get that 3 and out, you're probably not going to have more than 30 seconds remaining.
The Mustangs request their first timeout of the second half. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium. 56 seconds left on the clock. Wekiva uses their first timeout to stop the clock. Boone having a fresh set of downs here. They do not need to make a lot of progress. They just need to not do anything foolish.
Yeah, don't make the mistake which opens the door with the 13-7 lead. And there's an example. Quarterback Rentas just looking to move that ball forward.
Rentas on the QB keep. Mustangs will take their second timeout of the second half.
49 seconds remaining. And so, once again, Wekiva coming in with the 9-5 record. They are coming off. Their most recent victory was against Edgewater. That was last Thursday. They then lost to Jones. And Wekiva, in general, though, losing only 2 and 3 in their last 5 games, while Boone coming in 7 and 5. They won 6 in a row, but have lost 4 of their last 5. So situation. Both teams need victories. Talked about this throughout. Only 4 teams make the district championship tournament. That's for every district. And only the champion goes to the state playoffs. Both teams in third place. And they need to keep winning to solidify that third place. And now Wekiva facing a situation they've unfortunately become all too familiar with. And certainly that'll help. But again, only 46 seconds remaining, as Boone no doubt will take a punt on this.
Stoops on the carry, and that'll be another loss on the play. The Mustangs will spend their third and final timeout with 46 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
So actually, Wekiva's going to come out a little bit better on the clock than I originally anticipated, Mark. I said they wouldn't have more than 30. They'll probably, if it's no return, you're looking at about 40 seconds, so about 10 seconds better than I thought.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is, remember, the last time, Boone's only punted twice today, and the last time they punted, it went straight up in the air and came back down and then bounced almost back to the original line of scrimmage. So if Wekiva catches a break there, then 46 seconds is actually plenty of time. That's enough time to run a couple of downs.
Yeah, if you get the ball inside the 40-yard line.
And, I mean, Wekiva, to their credit, has shut down these plays really fast. So very little time has come off the clock. They've been able to call the timeout right away. So as fast as flag football normally moves, it really has not moved very fast. Oh, and they're going to go for it on fourth. No, excuse me, that was third down.
Okay,
third down.
Okay, we lost track of the count.
Yeah, so
again,
third down.
Flag football does move quickly.
Yeah, so it'll be fourth down. Now they're going to have to punt.
Now they're going to take time off the clock as Wekiva is out of timeouts.
Correct.
So, yeah, they will not have – so, again, they will have less than 30 seconds.
And I'm not sure if Boone is actually going to try to run the play, or if they're just going to deliberately let the play clock run out and then use one of their own timeouts. They've got 3.
And I can see Coach Butts. I'm not sure what his argument is, but he is arguing. He's got both hands up, asking the refs why something isn't happening.
The Braves will let the play clock run all the way down and then spend their first timeout of the fourth quarter. It'll be 4th down and 26 when we come back from the Braves break.
So Boone, Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium, the site, and Wekiva, the home team, needing a miracle as they trail 13-7, only 11 seconds remaining. They will get possession of the ball as they have forced Boone into a punt, but again, only 11 seconds remaining in this game between two teams that desperately need wins to maintain third position in their respective districts and get into the championship tournament. So does Wekiva let it go, or they attempt a return? They will attempt it. That's McCarthy, the senior. And now they're going to go to the lateral. Still not much gain. And they took 5 seconds off the clock, actually 4. So 7 seconds remaining and time for one last play.
Carter on the return gets the ball back into Braves territory on a couple of shovel passes. Now, keep in mind, official time is kept on the field, so...
And the clock is actually showing triple zeros.
Yeah, but that's just my clock. The officials have the proper time that's kept on the field, and so I think they're signaling that there's like 2 seconds left.
Okay. So one last play for Wekiva. They're going to have to pull the proverbial rabbit out of the hat. In a game that really, unfortunately, has been the story all season. They scored first and have given up 13 consecutive points. Carter will be working out of a one-back set. McCarthy, that one back, lined up to Carter's left. Carter with the snap, flips the ball, and she's going to throw. Caught by McCarthy. No catch, so there won't be any lateral. And the game comes to an end. Wekiva falling after scoring first, and they will drop to 9-5, while Boone ups their record to 8-5.
That takes us to the end of the ball game. That last pass intended for McCarthy falls incomplete. And it'll be a 13-7 ball game. The Braves taking the victory here on senior night. We'd like to thank everyone who came out to support your Mustang and Braves athletes, whether it's here in person at Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium or online on YouTube, the NFHS Network, or Varsity Sports Network. We remind you that this game will remain available for on-demand replay on YouTube and NFHS Network, and may occasionally make appearances on VSN's 24/7 feed as well. As for the Mustangs' schedule, your next chance to catch them is going to be on the road. They will wrap up the season tomorrow at Harmony. That'll be the last game of the regular season. And then next week they will be at the 2A District 5 tournament at Evans. Congratulations once again to the senior class of 2022. And this concludes season 15 of Mustang flag football action. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Wekiva Sports, and bookmark WekivaMustangs.com for all of your scores, schedules, and more. For those of you here in the arena, please drive carefully and arrive home safely.
And so, once again, your scoring recap. Wekiva opened the scoring, marching 38 yards. Sky Carter to Shania McCarthy on a 5-yard touchdown pass. The two connected for the PAT, a 6-0 lead. That would be all Wekiva would score. The last 13 points by Boone. They marched 70 yards, a 10-yard touchdown rush from Rentas, the quarterback, and then they put the game away and brought the final score to 13-7 on a 3-yard rush by Taylor Bozeman, that being a 56-yard drive. Again, Wekiva drops to 9-5. As you heard Mark say, they will go on and finish out the season on Harmony of a game they absolutely will have to win if they're going to move into and advance to the district championship tournament. Boone takes a huge step towards maintaining third position in a berth in their district championship tournament, moving up to 8-5. So once again, take us home, Mark.
Well, I want to thank Coach Mr. Dickerson and his entire team at Wekiva TV Broadcast Production, bringing you tonight's game and all of your Mustang coverage all season long. Special thanks also to Varsity Sports Network for carrying tonight's game. And thank you for tuning in. For Neil Fisher, this is Mark Barchi, the voice of the Mustangs, and this has been a presentation of Wekiva High School in association with Orange Technical College, both a proud part of Orange County Public Schools. Good night from Baptiste Orthodontic Stadium.